What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. This assumption that athletes are alpha. Athletes were alpha back in his day. You know, him, Jim Brown, back in that day. Alphas were alpha probably in the 80s, 90s, 2000s when football wasn't soft and basketball wasn't soft and baseball wasn't soft. But at a certain point in the 2000s and up, athletes have not been alpha. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. As far as the dating and image of what alpha is, athletes became more and more sheltered. They've been in a bubble, so they're more and more socially awkward. They're they're great athletes. They may be great physical specimens, but the vast majority of them do not have not interacted with the general public and population. So you wonder why these guys get played, these guys get finessed, these guys do completely stupid things that normal people do around their age anyways, for one. But we don't on them the alpha moniker because a person is a certain height, weight, body type, and maybe big and fast, or big and strong, or big and athletic, or can dunk a basketball, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not saying athletes aren't smart, because a lot of y'all don't realize athletes process information very fast. The difference is they don't process social information as fast as they do athletic information. That's it. They're geniuses in the athletic realm, but they're novices dealing with society, dealing with people. That's why, athletes and entertainers are no different. I'm gonna let this person handle that, and let this person handle that, and let this person handle that. And then the walls wind up closing in, because when it comes to handling their own business, they become lazy because all they have focused on is athletics. Now, even using the Russell Westbrook picture, even though honestly he's my favorite basketball player, but he's for years he's done things. You be like, why are you doing it? Like off the court, you like, why, Russ, man? You're a husband. You got kids. You do not want your daughters to be looking at these pictures of you when they turn 20. Yeah, I promise you don't. I promise you don't. But all of this self-expression, and I need to be a brand and express myself, and you wonder how these guys get played and finessed in one way or another, because back in the day, and ironically, Russell Westbrook, I think, was one of those people who was closer to that than this, but he's evolved into this, where you got these young men who used to be, you had to be all city. Your best player on your team, best player in your conference, then all city, then all state. The AAU thing really didn't kick off like that. I think until around when Benji got killed. And if anybody doesn't know who Benji is, Benji was a hooper in Chicago. I think a teammate of Nick Anderson. When if anybody knows the Orlando Magic, Nick Anderson was one of their players. Penny, Shaq, Nick Anderson. Or Shaq, Penny, Nick Anderson. The guy who took the ball from Michael Jordan when he came back out of retirement when he was wearing number 45 at the end of the game. And he was like, if that 23 wouldn't let me do that, which sparked the next three-peat, basically. But those guys used to interact. If you see somebody like Shaq, you see how Shaq's not socially awkward. Shaq can interact. He knows how to interact with people from all walks of life, because he grew up on a military base, and he had to go through the ups and downs of life with his family when they were going through it. He just happened to be ridiculously big, right? But you saw less and less people like Shaq. You saw more and more people who were prodigies, and that's the thing about prodigies. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a kid who's great at science, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. If that's their laser focus, when they get out in public, they're gonna be socially awkward. Same thing. Other athletes, box fighters and this, that, and the third. You see these people, man, why this guy's acting so young? Why they acting like kids? Well, ironically, they may be 25, 30 years old, and you're seeing them doing things you probably did in college because this is their first chance to do it. And now they have more money to do it with. How are these girls running this game on them? Because this is the first time they was able to get around girls like that. That's how that happened. And people assume because he's an athlete and because he's this, that, and the third. No, man. And that's a thing on us. Well, we forget that people are just people. Some people are more mentally or physically gifted than other people, or they worked harder to become smarter or more physically gifted than other people. And we forget they're just people nonetheless who've changed their focus. That's it. And we've put people on pedestals to figure if you're an alpha athlete, sometimes how you're alpha in society, when that's not the case. Those people, they're alpha in what they're great at. That doesn't extend to everything else. So you gotta understand that some of these people are just socially awkward because they're just figuring it out. How many times we've been looking at Kevin Garnett like, when are you gonna brush his head? Socially awkward, man. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch you on the next one. Peace.